I want to go back in time to a breakthrough moment in gaming history. The release of Super Mario Bros. On the NES. A game that's almost twice as old as I am right now, which is kind of insane to say. Today, I'm going to play through the very first game from the Super Mario All-Stars collection on the SNES. So grab your Mario cap and join me on the journey through the wonderful world of Super Mario. Here we go! Anyway, starting off with the iconic 1-1, it's instantly one of my favorite Mario levels of all time. It's super easy to play through, except for me, of course. I f***ing suck! Further up in the level, I found my first secret of the game, which also gives me a nice retro achievement along the way. And that's how we finish the iconic 1-1, which means we move on to another iconic level, 1-2. Don't worry, this is the last one I will call iconic. This is why I was reminded that you can't walk to the left when you miss a mushroom. I miss you, mushroom, forever. And since I'm like the best gamer ever, you would expect that I wouldn't die again in World 1. Well, I died 4 times, I got the game over in 1-2, so it didn't lie to you. Oh. Wait, let me check my book of excuses real quick. Ah yes, here it is. I'm just getting used to the game's controls. Wait, that's not a good excuse either. What the f***? Anyway, at the end of the video I will share my total death count across the entire game, so stay tuned for that. I also decided not to use any warps during this playthrough because I want to experience all the levels instead of skipping them. 1-3 and 1-4 were both a breeze to get through. I simply walked to Bowser and said, "Hello!" Got hit by fire, but with the power of pressing the jump button, I managed to jump over him and throw him into a lava pit. Bye bye Bowser. And here we are in World 2. For some reason I expected this to be a desert world, because in the new Super Mario Bros. Games the second world is always a desert world. In 2-1 I had a moment where I almost hit myself with a Koopa shell. Luckily I managed to dodge it, and then seconds later I hit myself with a different Koopa shell. When I tried to jump over that, I landed on the piranha plant, resulting in a game over. The perfect run. On my second run of 2-1 though, I found a secret which led me up into the sky, a nice easy shortcut that helped me finish the level without any problems. And then 2-2 comes, one of my least favorite levels in the game. Because it's a water level, and I hate water levels.
Sherlock.
Just like me falling for these coins, which turned out to be a trap. Mario likes to drink a lake, okay, I'm just trying to help him. Luckily for me, I only had 1 death in 2-2, so it wasn't that bad. 2-3 on the other hand, has one of my favorite backgrounds in the entire game. I just love how it looks like the Goombas are some kind of gods and we are just here to praise them. After finishing 2-3, we head into another castle to fight Bowser again, which went perfectly fine and I totally didn't fall into the lava, resulting in another game over. I would never do that. I'm so disappointed in myself, I'm sorry. Going back through the previous levels wasn't too bad though. I cleared them all pretty smoothly, didn't die once in my second run, which I'm kind of proud of. Then in 2-4 I went to only 1 life left, resulting in a little bit of stress. I didn't want to play through all the other levels again, so you can call me a cheater, but I used a save state to save me at the start of the level. I know. I just wanted to make it a little bit easier for myself. I do this later up in the run as well, but I just want to be real with you. So yes, I used the save state, but luckily I managed to get to Bowser and destroy the floor below him, which means we can go to World 3. At the start of 3-1, I managed to end Mario's life once again with a Koopa shell. Another game over. I'm so good at this. Sometimes I try to pick up a Koopa shell because I recently played through Super Mario World on the Wii U, so my brain is still in that mindset that I can pick those things up. But back in Super Mario Bros. Though, I managed to get another game over in 3-1. Don't ask me why I'm struggling this much already. We're only in World 3, and trust me, it's going to get worse in Worlds 7 and 8. Hopefully you don't watch my videos for pro gameplay, because then you're definitely on the wrong channel. Oh, and if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps me out a lot. I've got to say, I really like the snow team in this game. It's not that slippery, which is nice. 3-2 and 3-3 were both pretty easy and I finished them without dying, which means we're beating Bowser for the 3rd time. Luckily I didn't struggle nearly as much here as I did in 2-4. I was small Mario, which actually helped me dodge some of the flames Bowser was spitting. And then at the end of the level I just went into full any percent speedrunner mode, ran under him, hit the X and destroyed the floor and sent him flying into the lava again. And that's World 3 done and another retro achievement for the collection. Heading into World 4-1, I honestly didn't expect it to be that easy. I mean, I know from the newer Mario games that Lakitu can be a bit, but here, he was basically on vacation. Thankfully, I found a nice little shortcut that took me straight to the end. Smooth start of the world. Level 4-2 is another underground level. This time I didn't struggle with it and I went through it all good without any issue. 4-3 on the other hand was a nightmare and a low point of my somewhat platforming skills. I managed to get a game over here, so once again we're back to the first level of the world. Here we go! Anyway, again I didn't have any issues with 4-1 and 4-2, so we're once again in 4-3. And I managed to climb through the end to the level without any issue. I just took my time and here we are again, with Bowser. Hopefully this time he will have the princess.
Hello, how are you?
This is the first level where you have to choose the correct path by guessing, which I like as a system, but it can be annoying, especially if you forget the pattern. Luckily this was only a short pattern, so I went through it quickly Luckily, this was only a short pattern, so I went through it quickly and then just one easy jump left and we have defeated Bowser once again. Sadly the princess isn't here, but this is my favorite Toad animation of the game. I just find it very cute how they turn into a Toad stack and then do the peace with Mario. We are already halfway through the game and we're in the second ice world of the game now. I got through 5-1 pretty quickly. But then the nightmare begins. 5-2. On my first run, however, I got through it very quickly, without much issue. But then in 5-3 I had a stupid moment with a Goomba which resulted in a game over. And that means I went straight back to 5-1. Which I did without any trouble. But for some reason I couldn't do 5-2. I died and died and died. And I even got a few game overs here. And that's when I got nervous for the rest of the game. I already struggled in World 2. Now I struggle in World 5 again. Can I actually do it, or am I not skilled enough to get through the game? But then, I finally did it. I am back in 5-3. This time, I'm way more careful than last time. And I got through the level without any issues. The World 5 castle on the other hand was a bit of a pain. I made a save state at the start of the level here and I had to use it a few times because it just kept failing. Luckily for me, I managed to get through it pretty quickly, resulting in another world done. World 6 means that we're getting closer and closer to the end. Sadly, that doesn't mean that it will get easier. The first level of the world was once again pretty easy. Even though Lakitu exists and likes to bully me.
Why you bully me? You f***ing bitch. Why you bully me? Everyone asking.
6-2 and 6-3 is where the pain exists in this world. I just kept getting game over after game over after game over. But when I finally did it, I was once again in the final level of the world. But I died and reloaded the wrong save state. Now I'm back in 5-4. So I f***ed up once again and I had to play through World 6 again. From the beginning. Even with all of these mistakes, I went in with a lot of confidence for that to be destroyed in no time. Again, I was struggling with 6-2 and 6-3. 6-2 mostly being my timing, which was not always great, and in 6-3 I was just struggling with getting my jumps right. But finally, back in 6-4 I made a save state this time, because I'm not doing all of that again. I must say, I struggled quite a bit with Bowser this time, especially because he also had the power of a Hammer Bro now. So it's challenging to run below him or jump over him, but Mario being Mario, I managed to do it. And with Bowser defeated in World 6, we can go to World 5. I mean World 7. I don't want to make that mistake again. However, World 7 was easier than I thought. Also because I used the save state a bit more, because frustration really kicked in at this point. And I think that 7-1 is the most frustrating level of the world, because there are bullet bills everywhere and a lot of hammer bros, so it's just a challenge to get the run through the level. But luckily I managed to do it. The next level is another water level, but it's easier than I originally thought. Yeah, I died a few times, but luckily I still had the power to push through and it was over. 7-3 is another Goomba God level with cheap jeeps flying around. Luckily I didn't struggle with it that much. I only made some stupid mistakes like trying to grab a power up, and because of that I lost all my momentum and got hit by a Koopa. Anyway, finally there's the flag of the level and there we go to the World 7 castle. This is another level where you have to guess and remember the path, but of course, me being me, I jumped straight into Bowser's face.
Oh no!
Luckily for me, Bowser jumped in the air, and because I'm a speedrunner once again, I just ran under him to jump on the X and we can enter the final world with a Toad army! Yahoo! But this will be a turning point in the game. Looking back at all the moments we experienced in the game so far, I was feeling like I wouldn't be able to do it. I was already struggling so much with this game from World 5 to now. How would I ever be able to do it? And that's when I started the challenge. I want to prove myself that I can beat this game. I can do this. 8-1 was a challenging level to say the least. I did it over and over again because I kept making the same mistakes. But I was almost there when the time got below 100 seconds for the first time in my playthrough. The stress kicked in, but I still did it. One step closer to being finished with this game. And then in 8-2 there was nothing that could prepare me for the pain I was about to have while playing this level. Another Lakitu level!
You fucking bitch, why you bully me, everyone asking?
Luckily for me, he was easy to kill, but he definitely didn't make the start of this level easy. Then the tie jumps and the Koopas with wings on their shells made it challenging to get through this level. But after about 20 minutes, I finally did it. I managed to get through and grab the flag. But the pain doesn't end there! Of course it doesn't! 8-3 stands for 8 Hammer Bro Heaven Free. There are so many Hammer Bros in this level that it's just insane. Especially the end part I struggled with. I died so many times here, it's a real shame with how much I struggled. But then I managed to get the timing right and did the perfect jumps to get over the Hammer Bros and get to the castle for one last time to save the princess. One more remembered path level left and then I am there. It took ages to get through this level because I forgot the pattern multiple times and I died a few times as well by simple mistakes. And when I found the end, it wasn't over. Of course it isn't over! There was this singular Hammer Bro which I struggled with to get past, but then I saw a hole in this pattern and I went for it. I jumped over the Hammer Bro, jumped onto the next platform, ran like my life was at risk here, and I did it. I finished Super Mario Bros. For the first time 40 years later. You can't describe how happy I am with beating this game. For me, this is not just beating the game for the first time, but also experiencing an important part of gaming history. I beat the game, which was a huge breakthrough moment, and I must say, I am impressed with how well this game still holds up. Is it perfect by any means? No, it isn't, but it's also not terrible. Let me know in the comments what was your first experience with the Mario franchise, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, it would help out a lot. Also, don't forget to support me on Patreon for exclusive and behind scenes content like the full run of this game. And then I have only one thing left to say, have a nice day.